Apologies in advance. My camera's been acting up a lot today, so if it's looking choppy, I'm sorry. I haven't been able to quite figure that out. But okay. So I'm pretty excited about today's situation. Submerge is probably my personal favorite on the album, and yeah, it's like I would say it's interesting to me because it was meant for something else. The song was originally a really bland instrumental, and then I think Anjunadeep wanted to like put it on Reflections 3, and I was like, not like this. It can't be like this. And so I was like, I have to write lyrics to it, and I think I ended up writing Push instead. I don't know how the timeline went, but I remember they wanted to use Submerge, and then I ended up writing lyrics to Push or something like that. Either way, Push came out instead, and it was because I didn't want the first song on the album to be out before other people could like just hear the album in full context. I guess it's just for me, it felt like it would spoil a lot, and again, it's one of my favorite songs on the album, so I didn't want to give it away immediately. But lyrically, it feels the most I don't know how to explain it, like, because I mean, I like all the songs, but Submerge is probably the closest to what I actually enjoy, and it feels the truest to what I can write outside of dance music. So I'm gonna go into the instrumental part, and I'm gonna talk about the lyrics as well, even though I didn't really do that for the other songs. But I feel like for this one it's kind of important to me. So yeah, I'm gonna get into it. But otherwise, how we feeling? Sorry for the long introduction. But I'm really excited. So, like I said, this song was primarily an instrumental, and I actually made the chord progression on Twitch a long time ago, and I was like playing with like pad sounds, and we all just kind of vibed out, and it was really fun. And I ended up keeping that. I ended up keeping the MIDI from it, and it's probably around here somewhere. I save a lot of MIDI clips. But yeah, so don't worry about the set output thing. This is for when I play it live. Which again, this is my favorite song to play out too, honestly. It's fun. I'll start with the... Oh yeah, the transition is gonna be cool to talk about too. Okay, I'll start with my lead vocal. Why not? So, I just did standard doubles on this with a little bit of auto-tune, with this like free plugin my friend sent me, called M-Auto Pitch. And for these kind of songs where like you don't want the vocal to feel super processed, I have to be really careful with using auto-tune. So I'll like turn the depth and speed really, really low, so where you can tell it's like giving it some shape, but it's not really quite doing it to where it feels like a new instrument, the way auto-tune can feel sometimes. But here's how it sounds by itself, and then they're just panned not that far out.
When my memory is as vivid as mine, first experience in waking life, there's no limit to the depth that I can live for you.
And it's super straightforward, like, just, yeah. One of the main things that I really like tried to make sure of was like just getting a really, really solid take so that I wouldn't have to do all that much aside from just gluing it together with the rest of the song and like playing with it with reverb effects. So with the EQ, I just have like a low pass going on, and then I cut out around like 700 just because it can sound kind of telephony for me. This is a standard compressor setting I use all the time, where like it's got a really fast attack and a like slow release. Is this slower release? A later release time. So it's like kind of squeezing the whole vocal together. Don't know, I can't explain why, I just like how it sounds. Then I have de-essing, which honestly, if I could go back, I'd put it first in the chain. And then some reverb automation, which it comes in handy later. I want to say over here. Yeah. You can see the delay is automating as well. And I have it doing a ping pong situation, so it's like moving around in the space. And then some EQ after that. And I guess I'll move on. I'll just keep going down. There's a section in the song that I wanted to feel like a Bon Iver type situation. This right here. So that looking back, because some fun story, crazy story, so much fun, absolutely hilarious thing that happened and didn't cause me a lot of emotional distress, is that Matt deleted the original project file for this. When I was working on the lyrics, I'll get to the meaning in a little bit, but I can probably explain it after I finish I'll do after the backing vocals. But Matt deleted the project file for this initially because I wrote the song at his house when I was working on a bunch of different stuff, and so lyrics were just kind of coming naturally. So I wrote some to this, and like he has a better vocal setup than I do, so I like really took advantage of the studio space to record this and get this like really vocoder heavy tone that I tried to mimic again with this prism sound, which is like, it's a chorus. I tried to do it with vocoder, but I couldn't quite get it. Which, like, it doesn't, like, the bass kind of helps it, but it, like, parts like that are gone now. And I think about that sometimes, and I'm like, dude, damn. But nonetheless, I still really like this part because the whole point was to like stack a lot of weight in these two little phrases. And a lot of the backing vocals, the way I stacked this was to kind of accentuate very specific parts. So they're not sung through the whole thing. Whoop. I did so many doubles too. I did doubles of each one. Like over here. Schmear.
First experience in waking life.
And I'll typically do like low, mids, highs on harmonies and try to get all three and see which one sounds best, and then like subtract it from there. With different delay processing, like they all have different reverbs, different delays to put them in somewhat different spaces, and then I'll process them together as a group. But the whole point is to like accentuate specific words that mean like that I want people to feel hopefully more of. Yeah, and I guess on that note, I'll kind of talk about the lyrics a little bit. I did have it pulled up. So yeah, again, sorry, apologies if my camera's been acting really funky today. But I had the lyrics written down for Anjuna to put on the vinyl anyways, and so I'm gonna like, and a lot of my memory is gonna come back as I'm like going through it. But this song is partially inspired by the waking experience, like when you first wake up in Outer Wilds, and it's just like the sudden you hear your character's breath, and it's like very abrupt. And the fact that your memories are played for you after every death, and so that's kind of where the first little phrase came from. But that, like, when my memory is as vivid as my first experience in waking life, that's specifically referring to the Outer Wilds like loop start when you wake up as the character. And there's no limit to the depth that I can relive it all, because you can go and repeat these experiences until you get an outcome that you want. Or, like, in my case, I was thinking of, like, this sort of really bad habit that I have of, like, I just have a really bad habit of playing over scenarios in my head over and over again, and like thinking about all the ways that I could have done things better or not, or like how I could have changed people's minds about something. And yeah, yeah. It's just something that I think I struggle with a lot, like kind of beating myself up or like making myself feel miserable, reliving things, or like feeling really good. Sometimes I like really enjoy the feeling of like being able to completely like relive things over and over again because of your memory, and it's really cool. It's kind of heavy. But yeah, so it's been so easy to connect all the stories that develop in my mind. There's no limit to the depth that I can relive it all, which is, again, referring to that, where it's like, it's not just me. Like, this is a very human thing. It's a very cool human thing that we're able to, like, develop such intense connections, either emotionally or spiritually, or like our entire belief system is based on like specific memories and experiences that we have. And like anytime you feel like, as you're going through life again, like you'll make these decisions based on these memories, and it's just like, I mean, I guess that's just defined as intelligence, but it's really interesting to think about sometimes. I don't know. And though the burden often draws me out, I've never used that energy to find anything beyond what I've perceived now, which is a lie. But I wanted to sound cool. But like basically just saying that even though I feel exhausted with whatever circumstances I'm dealing with, I don't make assumptions about what's happening, or that I can think with a clear mind, which again is a complete lie. But I guess like as a kid, you kind of have this feeling where you experience things and they can be really rough, but it's also interesting how I don't know, you just don't attach too much meaning to specific things until people tell you to. And then that's where this next line comes in, where it's, if only I could move on like this, formless, unassuming. That's really heavy. Okay. Wow. Yeah. I forgot how heavy this song is. But yeah, and then in the backing vocal, I have this really cool, where's it at? Oh, down here. Sorry about that. Right here. And I wanted to send this one into space. I wanted like a really, really heavy reverb and like saturation going off that reverb, which is something I picked up on the sorry, I keep forgetting I have to switch between this and OBS. But yeah, like, it's something that I picked up from, I want to say it's a Mind Over Matter album from Young the Giant. But there's this song where they saturate the reverb and they go really hard and they automate it, and it sounds so pretty, and it makes, like, the song doesn't have a lot going on, but then it does that effect and you're just like, whoa, that feels heavy. And I don't do it in the same way with this song, but it's still just kind of like where that comes from, or why I approach treating the vocal that way. And I have it really compressed too, to kind of tuck it farther back in the mix, but I automated that because sometimes I wanted it to be the focus, sometimes I needed it to sit back. I really like that vocal. But yeah, so I have a lot of saturation, a lot of compression, and a lot of reverb, and automating that reverb to go with the pace of the song. Yeah, and then so the last, I'll go through the last like few lines really quick. But these last few lines are about, there's this planet called Brittle Hollow in Outer Wilds where the center of it is a black hole, and if you fall through it, you get shot out like into space, and for a second you like through a white hole on like just really, really far away from the planet and your ship. And like there's a way to get back to it. There's actually a really cool way to get back to where you were, but initially when it happens to you the first time in the game, you're like, shit, I just got yeeted into space and I am alone in this space. So it's like forced out, like the black hole in the game, and then I've seen the light, which is the sun. It's either the sun or something else, but it was referring to like what you see when you get shot out on the other side of that like black hole. I see the other side. I realize I have no place. I have no place. I have no place, because it's just like this feeling of I don't know, sublime, I guess. The game causes a lot of existentialism, but in the whole like meaning around it, I guess that can be interpreted as like whether or not you want to attach stories and heavy meaning and lore and all these things to your life and to your, you know, how you observe life. And it's just a cool game, you know. I really like Outer Wilds a lot. The soundtrack is great, but it was really cool that, like, looking back, I'm like, damn, there's actually a lot of points from the game that really stuck out enough for me to write it in lyrics, whether I really meant to or not. Because I mean, this is connecting to my life for sure, but yeah, there's just very obvious like draws from things that I like see from the game that like are burned into my retinas, you know. Oh, no problem. Yeah, it's tricky. Yeah, it's hard. But with that being said, we can get into the like instrumental part of it, which is pretty cool. It's very simple. It's like really, really not that hard. A lot of the importance of this song came from the lyrics, which is like, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of the only song on the album that feels that way to me. Not that the other lyrics aren't like, it's not that they're not cool or anything, it's just that this song has probably the most, like I said before, like when I started the stream, that like this feels closer to what I actually do as a songwriter, and like what I enjoy doing when I build tracks is like the beats are cool, but this is what makes me different from everybody else, I guess. So with that being said, the sub bass carries a lot of weight in helping this song sort of like have some weight, because it's like I said, it's mostly pads in my vocals, and so there's no low end, and I was able to get that with a reactor, which is from Monarch from Reactor, and I usually just use the first patch as the first preset, and then I'll process it a lot with saturation. Erosion's just adding noise. That's all that does. This utility here, I'm guessing, was because I wanted to make it mono, but I didn't. And then some glue compression, which, I mean, it's not really doing a lot, which for bass tones I typically don't think it needs to, but I feel like it does a lot for the song. And it also helps it helps define the chords when there aren't really. I didn't really make chords for this song. Then I have another bass drone that does like a wow. I love this thing. First experience in waking life. It's just like sinister. I love it. Saturation, of course. Foot rocking, you made it. A little bit of a low end boost, and then again, not a lot of compression. I try not to compress my basses too much, because I really want them to be felt. You want that dynamic to be felt. Unless I'm layering, and if I do, I'll layer the basses, and whatever is on the top, then I'll probably compress it more or use reverbs or delays or whatever. But for the most part, I save the heavy compression for like backing vocals or just stuff that I need to tuck away, that I want them to be there, but I don't need them to be in my face at the party, you know what I'm saying? Next up, as far as like importance, I have these keys, which I'm pretty sure are a splice loop. Sad fact, I don't play piano, like ever, unless I'm being forced against my will to do so, and like I have to write chords for the sake of the song, but I'm pretty damn sure this is a splice chord, so I'm sorry. Let's do it, all the kids together. Nobody often drives me out. I've never used that energy to find. And it helps give it a lot of mid-range weight. Anything beyond what I perceive now. Yeah, I'm excited for New York. New York is gonna be fun. I'm going in a day early so I can see Matt and Naz and Andrew. I haven't seen Matt since March, so that makes me really happy. I missed him. On to my twinkles, all my twinkles and stars. So if I remember correctly, once I got the chord progression, these twinkles were the next thing to go. And this was like, at this point, like, I had to recreate it from a demo that I had, because again, this was for those just joining us, Matt Zoe accidentally deleted this project file and Ultraviolet, so I had to like recreate these from scratch, but I did it in like 2 days. So I couldn't tell you what the original sounds were, but for this I used the giant patch from Contact, and this grain delay preset 5 is really fun to like. It just adds some. It can add some brightness that you need sometimes. It's really fun. Then some echo to send it like in different places. Had to do a ton of gain. Auto pan again to just like, for the same reason I have the ping pong delay on, is to like make it travel through the stereo field. And then a ton of compression. Not a ton, actually. It's really short. Scott, how you feeling? Can we even hear this next one? Oh, it's just birds. Birds at my house, I guess. It's probably a voice memo. It does sound like some Georgia-ass birds, that's for sure. I have this app that tells me what birds are chirping at any given time, too. That's really fun. This next patch is, funny enough, from Evolve, which I never, ever use. I think I was just, like really down bad. Yeah, the lineup's crazy. For the whole weekend, really. The whole lineup is stacked. So this is just a... What preset is this? Getting Scared, which sounds about right. With all these birds. And then I have... What's these guys? What's this? Oh, Farlight. I love this plugin. So Contact has these libraries. One's called Straylight. One's called Farlight. And then there's another one. There's another one they just came out with. And it's just really, really gorgeous. Like, it sounds like, is it subtractive synthesis? Where you just kind of like, or like, I don't know. It sounds like, it sounds like Granulator pretty much, but like on steroids. I forget that. Yeah. Dude, pull up. I pretty much have this drone doing a little bit more of the chord building. In a really subtle way. And it's tucked. It's tucked real tight. You should come to New York, though. It's going to be fun. I'm going to go a day early to see Andrew, Matt, and Naz. I think we're going to get some food. I don't know. But then they all have to leave the next day to play Montreal, which I'm fucking mad about. I'm like, what? Why? Who planned that? You can't get all the homies together all weekend? This is a straight up Ableton stock preset. Doing my little art. And I think I was just like, turned all the lights off and lit a candle and just like started tapping around. Delay to swing it around. I cut out the high end, which is another way for me to kind of tuck pieces of a song back into the mix instead of using compression, and it works really well. It's very helpful with like giving yourself some room in the song if it's not the primary focus. Like if you want it to be the focus, then usually you want it to have more top end. Compression's not doing a lot either until we get to this glue. It's not too much, it's fine. Then I got my flutes. I was like, I'm feeling orchestral. Maybe. This is typically where I have a very hard time with my mix downs and songwriting, is when I get to like flutes or strings. And this is especially true, like, let's say you're a classically trained musician or something. Whatever you imagine in your brain will sound good, doesn't always work in execution with the rest of the song, especially when you're trying to include it with a bunch of other instruments. And so I'll have a really hard time with flutes and strings and getting them to fit in the mix with my vocals, or especially guitars. Fuck, it's a nightmare. But these are just Contact flutes. It looked like I was trying to do some phaser, of course, but I didn't stick with it. And then I just automate volume and pan it out. I believe... Wait, I did record one. It's easy. I was like, wait a minute, I should do that, but there is one. Anjuna has it. It's coming. I did 3 acoustic versions of the album for them. That I forgot that we did. I forgot we did that. So I also got some brass. Also, again, Contact. Their woodwind solo, woodwind ensemble, and string ensemble plugins are really great. In this case, I have brass ensemble ripping and dipping, pushing some chords for me. Which is pretty on its own, really. These strings are what I made on stream however the fuck long ago. I have them coming in at a lower octave so they don't compete but still fill up the space. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate that. The Wake and Return one is out. If you pre-order the vinyl, you get a free download of at least the Wake and Return one. I don't know when they're gonna put out the rest of them. But I do know I feel like they're gonna come out on DSPs eventually. I got a cello to add to all of that. We did a lot of layers. No wonder I had a tough time mixing it. Honestly, though. This resample was from the original track that got deleted. Did this... I'm surprised this guitar made it. I remember having a hard time mixing this too. So the only thing that like doesn't just like really like belt to the heavens is this little guitar, but it's also my favorite part of the track, to be honest. Bam, bam, smack, bam, 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 bam. And I just like kind of, it didn't fit, it doesn't fit with most of the song, but it fit in like 2 different parts. Okay, I guess 3, but like, he's a star. And I'm pretty sure it was an accident too.
First experience in waking life. There's no limit to the depth that I.
Do I want to... Hold on. Okay. So, now what makes this song really cool is that going into... I wanted to make sure it went into Material, which I think I still kind of messed it up, but it's supposed to... The transition is built in to set you up for Material. And so I have this... I use this transition pad to also kind of change the key of the song. So, here. Right. And it's also changing speed. And it like kind of, again, it goes up to like 121, 122. And then I like change the key and it goes into, Material. Yeah. And so that was the whole plan. Let's see. I use this is a pad from Contra. I use a lot of stuff from different like other parts of the album to make this transition on purpose. I feel like when you're making an album, if you keep pulling, like, you're gonna work on stuff and then like you can pull songs from each other and resample yourself and you eventually get a cohesive sound for the entire project, which is really cool. This I know is from Analog Dreams. It's resampled from Analog Dreams. It's in Material as well, during the drop. Okay, good chat. With that, I don't know what that is. Okay. Some of these are so quiet. Oh, it's the chimes. from it's the chimes from Material. And then I think that's it for the transitional section beside, excuse me, I think that's it. No, that is it. Because what's this? Yeah. So that's pretty much it. But I love that. That's my favorite part of the song, where it's like it does a whole like tempo change and key change into the next song. So yeah, that's Submerge. If you guys, if anyone has any questions, again, it was my favorite on the record. I was a huge brat about the rollout for this. I was a huge brat about everything in this album in general, but this song in particular, I was like, I don't want this out until the album's out. I want people to like experience this when they hear the whole thing. And I don't know if it like had the effect I want. I'll never know that, but yeah, it's definitely one that I know, like, this is the one that made Andrew like really be like, okay, dude, come on, write more songs, like, or at least make me work on his album some more. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm pretty excited to go to New York in like what? It's in 2 days. Shit, I need to check in. I need to pack. I need to get my set. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're cool. We're fine. But yeah, if you guys don't have any questions, I am no. What's happening? Just announced tour, like the live tour for this. So I am going to be playing these songs live pretty soon. We're doing the first stop in Atlanta on July 30th. And then after that, I want to say we're hitting San Francisco. I've been really bad about it. Oh, no, we're not hitting San Francisco. We have to reschedule San Francisco. But yeah, so the live tour just went live. The tickets just went live. Joe, what's up? But yeah, aside from that, I'll see you in New York this weekend. Hopefully on the Beats Day too. I'm going to be there for both days. It's a real bummer my camera's been all messed up. Contra Deluxe. I don't know. I am working on some club mixes. I'm trying to get some club mixes ready by the time I get to the Gorge. If I can finish by the time I want to test them out at the Gorge if I can. So we'll see. We do have the first remix coming out this month. The first remix is coming out this month, and it's from my favorite band of all time, like hugest inspiration in my entire life, ever. So that's really exciting. But yeah, if I don't get to see you in New York, you can definitely hit my website. Hold on. olinmusic.com, and those are we have stops in San Fran, in LA, in Brooklyn. In Brooklyn. Well, yeah, we're gonna hit Brooklyn again. And Denver, and Atlanta, and then there's one other one I can't remember. It's been messy. It's been tricky. I just know, I'm like, look, Lusana, just rehearse and make sure you got your flights and show up, and that's it. But I am really excited I'm excited for Weekender. Like, the closer it gets, the more I'm like, ooh. And if you guys are in town early, make sure you swing by for the club set that I'm going to play with Marsh and Ellie and Fur. That'll be fun. That'll be sweet. That'll be hot. That'd be cool. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for coming to hang. I'm gonna go eat and get ready for New York, because I kind of have my set planned. I just can't decide if I want to go like funky or if I want to go like just beats, just heavy beats, just beats and vibes. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna get ready. You guys, yeah, hotels are a fucking nightmare right now. flights are a fucking nightmare right now. But you guys take care. Be safe. Definitely, I mean, take care of yourselves and each other, because it's been really stressful to perceive things lately. But I do appreciate the opportunity to share music and like go dancing, and all that stuff really does take a lot of stress away. And making music does take a lot of stress away. So I don't know, maybe I should just lean more into that nowadays. Cause I'm stressed out. But it is cool to hear that these songs kind of worked for other people and not just me. So thank you guys. And I will see you, if not this weekend, then I'll see you on Wednesday. If I don't see you on Wednesday, I'll see you at the Gorge. And if I don't see you at the Gorge, I'll see you in Atlanta.